maybe.
Um,
I
maybe,
mean,
maybe.
yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'll say the least. And I think the last part about the reactions that really kind of perplexed me was people immediately want a Lex Luthor movie now
Mm,
based off of it. And I was like, I know DC Black, this is a great beginning point for it. And it's kind of hypocritical of me because I wrote a feature and we did a video on it last week about basically one of the kind of few, I guess, potential sequels in the whole DC Black line I'd be interested in seeing was a Lex Luthor movie. And in my kind of pitch, I kind of saw as more of like maybe Lex Luthor was getting an investigative piece written about him by someone like Lois Lane or something like that. Maybe this is him when he's running for president or after he became president. I don't know. There's a few different ways you could go about it, but I don't think Lex Luthor should be your definitive kind of next one, if that makes sense.
yeah.
I think that kind of sets like a bad, I think the word's like precedent or
Mm,
precedent. I always mispronounce it. But basically you're starting a trend here that's gonna really not alienate the DC Black film universe, but I think make it too narrow-minded for a lot of people when they think about it. And I definitely think if you want to do like a Deathstroke movie, this would be a good kind of the DC Black line would be a good one. Or if you want to do movies like you said that are more of kind of a commentary disguised with a popular character that kind of propel that to more of a mass audience, I think that'd be cool. Just like how they did, I guess, like you said, mental illness, but they used the Joker character to really propel that to make it more commercial, so to speak. Like I think if DC Black wants to go about that, that'd be really interesting. Maybe make a Swamp Thing movie now.
right.
Talk about the environment. I don't know what they'll do next, but I don't think directly doing now the number one Superman villain after you do number one Batman villain is like the best move because then people are just going to expect a Sinestro movie next or something like that.
Right. We don't need to see everybody's arch nemesis turned into a feature film. I feel like this movie was made not because it was the Joker, but because the filmmaker had a message that he wanted to present and use the Joker as a feat as the filter in which he brought that to an audience. And I feel like if you're going to do another movie based on a villain or an antagonist or an anti-hero, you need to start with the basis of something first. And if you have a strong story to tell with Lex Luthor, then by all means make that movie. I just feel like having your intention to be like, oh, this character needs to be the one to be seen next. I don't think that's going to produce a quality product. And especially, I feel like you need someone who's going to understand at the core what makes that character work, what makes them interesting, and then add layers on top of that to explore through whatever genre you present their film in. Um, I'm trying to think of like other villains that'd be good. I don't know. You can tell. You see, I don't want to keep making the same sort of thing about mental health. So you need to find like a new angle on it. That would still be interesting. I feel like because the Joker is a character that revolves around mental health, it lends itself to a more independent, independent film sort of aesthetic to it. So I don't know. There's a lot of different villains. Maybe focus on someone that's a lesser known, that's less popular within someone's rogue gallery. You can definitely make a quality film from there because there's not going to be a lot of high expectations on what that person should necessarily be.
Well, I think you need a popular character, just someone who doesn't have a lot of baggage with them. So that's why I
Hmm.
thought when I did my feature I mentioned before, outside of Lex Luthor, another character I thought would be good is Vandal Savage. Just because he's been around for so long, you can basically make his movie could be in any time period. You could have any supporting cast based on the time period. There's a lot of flexibility there. You can make basically a movie on almost anything because you could argue that he was almost anywhere at any time for the most part. But even besides that, I mean, in hindsight, I kind of think more so like an anthology TV series would be better with each like let's say season taking place in a different time period for Vandal Savage. I think that would actually work really, really well. But honestly, that I think a Deathstroke movie would be great. Maybe make it a commentary on war or something like that. You know what I mean? Or You could do a lot of things because Deathstroke was a super soldier, kind of like Captain America in a lot of ways. So not exactly, of course, but in some aspects. So you could definitely play on that. And Deathstroke's a character that's popular enough where you can really sell it to people, like generate interest, just like you did with the Joker and just like Sony did with Venom. And at the same time, he's a character that's not super established in such a way where like you can be flexible with them. Like you can change things about his origins and people won't blink an eye. Like you can make him not have kids. A lot of fans will be upset, but most people will be fine with it for the intents of like a DC Black film.
Right, right. Yeah, let's get a Catwoman movie. We haven't seen that one before. Wait,
I don't think
hold
they'll
on.
ever make another Catwoman
I
movie.
feel I feel like it's scarred. Like we can't touch that again unless it's related to Batman.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if they wanna, I guess if we just want to do the trilogy really quick before we move on to the next topic, kind of like what character we'd like to see, like related to the trilogy. I guess for Superman, I would love to see a film set in that period of the death of Superman, maybe about Steel. I think that'd be kind of cool about, kind of like the everyday man almost like rising up, something like that. Or,
Okay,
um,
do yeah, have Shaquille O'Neal come back for that one.
no, no, no. But I think that'd be cool, like something like that. If we don't want to do like a Lex Luthor, if we don't want to set that trend of it always just being someone's arch nemesis, I definitely think Steel during the death of Superman would be a good one because the villain could be like the Eradicator or something like that, or
Hmm.
the villain could be Lex Luthor. Honestly, like you could do kind of whatever you want for the most part. But I guess that and for Wonder Woman, she's a bit harder, but I would love to see them kind of maybe go a little bit into what they did with the New 52 and kind of have her interact more directly with the Olympians with regards to like what her movie would be about. So maybe her movie deals with. See, now I'm kind of getting away from the whole low budget thing though, if you're doing gods. So
Right. No,
maybe
yeah.
not. I mean,
I
it's
don't
hard.
know.
I guess
It's
Steve
tough.
Trevor. I would do like an Argus Steve Trevor movie, maybe. I mean, I don't really know what you'd be exploring with that, like a commentary for something. I mean,
Right, right. It's a tough one, you know. I'm trying to think
yeah.
of other people
Yeah,
that
like not
were not
every
necessarily
character
the
fits.
Joker. Yeah, not every character um is gonna qualify for a low budget film, but I don't know, man. Who's like let's get like a Jimmy Olsen movie, his rise to to the top.
Honestly, you could do a League of Assassins movie. That'd be pretty cool. Like the origins of them and how like they came to be. Like you could definitely do something really cool with that,
Okay, or Court
low
of
budget
Owls.
wise. Oh
Or
yeah, Court of Owls would be a good movie too.
man, I'm just wondering what story would you tell
Nightwing.
with that?
Honestly,
Night.
like a DC Black Nightwing movie, I think would be really good, especially because in New 52, there's so much history installed there between Dick Grayson and the Court of Owls, since he was originally supposed to be like their next talent and stuff like that before his parents died. But definitely, you can play with that. Probably you could have some fun with it, make a darker Nightwing movie with him taking on the Court of Owls.
Hmm.
If you
If
don't
you
want
were
to
to,
have Batman do it,
yeah, I was gonna say if you were to do that movie, would you touch on Dick Grayson's relationship with Batman? Are they
I
talking? Would
think
you
you'd
think it'd
have
be
to.
strictly strained? Yeah, of
I think you
course,
have
you'd
to.
have to.
I think this would be maybe like taking place wise, like he's just become Nightwing, which I know may be a bit conflicting with DC's plans for the character right now because they're already doing Titans, which is kind of exploring that time period of his life. But I guess I would kind of set it during that period, or you could set it maybe when he's more seasoned as Nightwing. Maybe he just left Gotham and moved to Bloodhaven or something. I don't know. I really don't know when you would set it, but I do think there's a lot of potential there if you want to make something related to Batman that a lot of fans will watch, yet doesn't have to be super high budget because
I think
Nightwing doesn't have
a
powers, so you can
right.
be really flexible.
I think a topical movie that could be a low budget sort of DC Black movie would probably be Static Shock. I feel like Static Shock could be a really good one. Like maybe that could be part of the main DC universe, but I could definitely see like a smaller indie Static Shock film just related to his neighborhood and how he would affect that, how he deals with the
with
things
Jaden Smith
around him. Oh God, Jaden
because he was
Smith.
attached to the last Static Shock project. I mean, I like this topic of kind of like seeing who would be a good character. Honestly, so when you said Static, it made me really think of, using DC Black maybe to not only talk about social commentaries, but maybe make some, like characters of color, you know what I mean? Like movies with like superheroes that probably wouldn't get a big blockbuster just because usually they weren't created as those characters. You know what I mean? Like at that
Mhm.
time, even though we all want John Stewart, because of his impact on a lot of the current generation with Justice League the Unlimited series and all that stuff, most likely we won't get that. We'll get a Hal Jordan or something. So definitely, I think a really cool character in that vein to see would be actually like someone like Static or like Jaime Reyes, Blue Beetle. Because I
Mm.
was thinking about it and I was like, honestly, the special effects that you would need for a Blue Beetle movie aren't that crazy. Like it's basically the same kind of special effects you would need for Tom Holland's Spider-Man when
Okay.
you think about
Right.
it. Like when you really think about it.
But doesn't he have
And
like a mechanical suit though? It doesn't like come form around him?
yeah, but if you're doing like a first movie kind of thing, or it's like a one-off movie, you can easily kind of make it a coming of age story. And he can use little bits and pieces, as he's adjusting to it, kind of like Power Rangers. Like in Power Rangers, they didn't just, suit up all the way immediately. It was kind of like little bits and pieces here and there. And then we got the full on like, Power Ranger suit plus Megazords. Like I think you could do something similar to that, where maybe Jaime uses like let's say one part of the scarab, in different moments, so you can still keep the budget low, but exhibit those, extra abilities. And then you really have him suit up like for the final act, and that's it. And that would be maybe
Okay.
like what, 5 minutes of screen time of him suited up all the way. Like it wouldn't be a lot.
No, yeah, I think that that'd be a very interesting take to see him come into his own, and as he's forming the pieces of the Blue Beetle, he's learning more about himself as well, and that's when he finally learns the lesson that he set out to learn in the beginning. I feel like another character, maybe within the Batman sort of universe or the DC universe, but more specifically towards Batman, would be a Harvey Dent film. I feel like that could be an interesting one.
Eh,
I don't think it'd be. I wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same vein as the Joker, but I feel like it could definitely present something interesting. I mean, though I know the Dark Knight did like an amazing job sort of adapting that, but I don't know. I feel like there's more you could maybe tell with that character.
I just feel like the Dark Knight did the best kind of character journey for Two-Face we'll get in a film anytime soon. Like it's hard to do a Two-Face story without that. With the way they did it, it's hard to do it without more supporting characters in the Batman universe. Because for something like Clayface, he's not Clayface, but Two-Face, he's just so kind of crazy. You would really have to put him in a world that already has that established craziness. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
So it's like Two-Face by himself, I feel like doesn't really work. Just like I feel the Joker for the most part by himself doesn't really work, which is why they kind of had to do it the way they did in this movie, where, he wasn't really full on Joker.
right.
He was a very nerfed version of the Joker compared to the comics. Like, there was no acid bath, there was no Red Hood gang, there was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Are we going into spoilers?
Thanks for watching our video. If you guys liked what you saw, please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and consider filling out the survey in the description below. It's just some stuff for us to find out ways we can better make our content, whether it's the lighting, the camera, the audio, the video, whatever it may be. We want to make the best content possible for you guys here at HN. So just fill out the survey if you have a chance. Let us know. Put in the comments things we can improve upon. And we hope you guys liked the video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you guys would like to see next time. And we'll see you guys later.